Lis Wiehl. Love Lis Wiehl is standing by here right now. Good morning, Lis.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. Great to hear from you this morning. Here we go. Each week, Lis from Fox News takes a look at some of the legal stories making the big headlines in the week, and she breaks them down. You were a former federal prosecutor. I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was. I loved it. Great job.
Should have known that. Topic number one, Trump threatens to sue over the lost Louisiana delegates.
Yeah, as you know, Trump actually won Louisiana, but now there are 10 delegates that are out there floating around. 5 of them were dedicated to Rubio. Of course, Rubio is out of the contention.
Yeah.
And 5 of them were just not dedicated. So he wants to go to the courts, in state court in Louisiana, and say, hey, they should be coming over to me. Now, I think that there's no way that's going to happen. He's threatening a lawsuit. Trump always threatens lawsuits.
I don't know, Lis. I don't know, because a lot of people really love his idea and really think he's right.
Right, but to go into court, I don't think it's going to happen. I
don't think so either.
The federal courts are going to say, no, it's a state law issue. Look at the rules, let the rules decide, and let these delegates decide what they want to do with it. The federal courts, strong arming and telling the delegates what they have to do. I think it's going to come down to the feds staying out of it, unless they look at the Louisiana rules and say, they're just plumb unconstitutional. It says only, white guys get a vote, or only, something like that, where it's like really unconstitutional. Yeah. Aside from that, I think they're going to say, look, Louisiana, you guys, you decide amongst yourselves.
Hey, interesting. But again, there's so much precedence there that goes on through history with the party. It's going to be very difficult for him to really overturn this. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Number 2, texting and walking.
Yeah.
Punishable by jail time.
There's an assemblywoman in New Jersey who wants to make texting while walking illegal. Not only illegal, is a misdemeanor where you could spend up to 15 days in jail and pay a fine, but actually go to jail for texting and walking. Now, her motivations are good and well-intentioned. She says that, and experts, she doesn't just say it, experts say that, we've got a lot more pedestrian deaths, and partly because people are just not paying attention. They're like, deedle-doodle-doo, they're walking along the sidewalk or whatever, and they're texting. You've seen it a million times. Mm-hmm. People have their heads down, and they're not looking where they cross over, and, somebody hits them. I mean, it does happen, and it's horrible. So she's saying, look, we've got to raise attention to this, and one of the ways to do it is say, hey, you do that, you're caught, and you could go to jail for it. So I get it. I think it's overkill, though, because, in law school you're always taught about slippery slope.
Sure.
And that means when a law is innocuous on its face, right, it sounds like a good idea, but it could open the door. So I'm thinking, in Manhattan, well, does that mean a slippery slope? Does that mean the next time I want to buy a hot dog from the vendor?
Right, you're paying attention to your hot dog.
Yeah, I'm looking at my hot dog. I'm yum, and I'm walking. I'm like, and the ketchup spilling or whatever. I'm paying attention to the ketchup, and boom, I could get arrested because I'm paying more attention to my hot dog.
Lisa,
right?
I'm pretty sure I was trying to figure out if this New Jersey Assemblywoman had an R for Republican after her name. A D for Democrat, but
I'm looking at my.
I got it. I got it for you. It's an I. She's from the Idiot Party.
Come on! I really do think that she's well-intentioned, well-meaning.
I'm sure she is.
I just don't think it's.
Yeah, but that's not how you go about that. You do that through public awareness campaigns. You don't create a law and make something a crime.
I know. Can you
encourage
imagine
people.
Some poor schlub gets in jail. Like, what are you here for?
Yeah.
Oh, molesting a small child. What are you here for?
Texting and walking.
Texting.
And imagine if someone's on probation.
The laughing stock of the prison yard.
These legislators want to create the perfect world, and it can never happen. It's terrible. Topic 3, man arrested for not... Here's another doozy. This guy was arrested for not returning a VHS movie for 14 years ago.
I know. Seriously, he was pulled over for some kind of traffic violation or whatever, and then the cop looks up and says, "You didn't return a VHS that we even know what those." I mean, I'm old enough; I remember them from 2002, and you owe a $200 fine. But the best part of it is the guy who starred in it was some comedian. I'll pull up his name here. Tom Green, a once famous comedian. I have to admit I don't remember who he is, but Tom Green. Anyway,
my bum was on the
Tom
stairs.
Green paid the fine for him, which was really nice.
Wow,
but
that's cool.
But don't you remember Blockbuster when you'd have to go and you rent it and you get your little candies and stuff like that, and you rent it and you had to bring it back, so you paid a fine.
I would always have like $80, $90 in late fees. I was just the worst at it.
80 or 90 bucks? Are you kidding me?
No, it was. You sound like my wife.
I don't know. That's a lot. I thought I was bad when I had like $3 or $4.
Terrible. I'm just a mess.
You're kind of you need. This is counseling territory.
It is.
My God.
That's why I like you coming on. It's like you're my counselor every week. So I appreciate it.
That's a lot. Well, and then you get those fines, and then couple those with the library fines. I always had more library fines than than the VHS fines, because I'm such a goody two shoes. I was reading more than anything else.
Yeah. Again, you sound like my wife.
Oh, sorry about that.
Right.
So you go to work and you have to call me.
Hey, listen, I don't know that you have time. Do you have like 30 seconds?
Sure. They'll cut you off if
they
I
will.
don't.
If you don't, you'll be gone. But I'd love to get your take on the North Carolina, the anti-gay law or the anti-religion law.
I think it's really going to be rough to get this passed. I mean, it really it looks pretty dim. I'm pretty dismal, don't you think?
Kind of hard to pass the Supreme Court test, I would imagine.
Yeah,
although,
well, the Supreme Court right now is up
4-4. Yeah,
it's such a muddle. I mean, really. And weren't we predicting this a couple weeks ago when everybody said, "Oh, it's just not that big a deal"? Everything. It is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge deal to think that we could go really another. Well, what are we in April? We could go at least another year without having a ninth on there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one case after another like this.
Yeah, big reason for paying some attention to this anyway.
Paying some attention to this, yeah.
As always, you're on fire today. We appreciate it.
Here we go.
We'll talk to you.
Sorry about your wife must be so. I guess she and I would get along really well.
It's a wonder she's still my wife. Yeah. Okay.
You got really lucky, man.
All right, Lise, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. The married up part, I think she's probably absolutely right. All right, hold tight. We have this woman I want to get into, too, that is, her whole thing is, Christine, parents should know how to bring up their daughters to be tough. And I think that's pretty interesting right there. We both have daughters. Here's Christine with an update. 8:18. We'll do that next, by the way. Here's Christine.